Hey guys, if you've got a Wii U system like our family, you may have noticed over time that the connection has become shorter and shorter between your gamepad and your console, and that can be frustrating. But I've got a quick fix for you that's fairly easy and that will get your connection range back to where it was when you first got it, coming up. So my kids are obsessed with playing on our Wii U system. We've got a lot of Wii U games, and my wife and I will play our Wii U as well. And we've noticed that over time the gamepad's been giving us more of the range connection errors where it says that the gamepad cannot connect to the console, and we've had to sit closer and closer, and it's been very frustrating. So my options were to go on Nintendo's website. I looked at their customer service. And going through their website, it was going to cost me $99 to send my Wii U back to them to have them fix it, and I also needed to pay for shipping. I thought that was a little high, and I just wanted to see if there was a way that I could fix it myself. I found a pretty easy fix online. There's a couple of places that you can buy a chip to replace your faulty chip in your gamepad. I bought one of those chips. I was able to open up the gamepad myself, replace the chip pretty quickly. It took me about an hour or so to go through the whole process of doing the replacement and then going and testing the gamepad, but that has fixed the situation, and I'd like to show you what I did. Alright, so Carter, you're playing the Wii U, and you're probably about 3 feet away from the TV. Show us an example here of what happens when you lose connection with the gamepad. So you seem to turn away from the TV. You probably moved about 5 feet away, and now we get the connection with the Wii U console has been lost. Please check that the Wii U gamepad and console are not too far apart. So when we got the Wii U, we used to be able to go across the room and even take it almost into other rooms and such, and it worked just fine. But we're now having that lost connection issue. We pretty much have to sit right next to the TV to play it. Alright, so I got the Wii U gamepad sitting here. I've powered it down, went on eBay, and I ordered this little guy right here, and I will put a link in the description as to where I got this, but this seems to be the cause of the problem. We're going to need to go into the gamepad. So there's a couple of things that we're going to need to unscrew here. First thing we're going to need to do is get rid of our battery. You might be able to find these at the dollar store. I'm sure you can find them online. I'll see if I can link to one of them online, but I was able to use this 1/16 screw, and the screws on the back of the gamepad are covered by these little pads, and if you can just kind of push them off with a screwdriver. That one came off real easy because I've already been in it. I've got a 5/64 screw, and I'm going to go ahead and unscrew these screws for the pad. That's going to give us access to the battery. We're going to need to remove this whole back part. So I'm going to take the battery out. I would suggest for any of these things here, don't necessarily pull on the wires, but push out the actual clips, because if you pull on the wires and those come out of the sockets, then you've got more problems. So in doing some research, the screws that are on the back of the gamepad are tri-wing screws. I didn't have a screwdriver that has the tri-wing point at the end of it. I am going to use a 1/16 screwdriver, and this is just small enough where it'll fit in between the grooves. Even though I was having success with the flathead screwdriver, I did notice that some of the screws that were in the holes here were looser than others, and some were tighter. And I noticed on those tighter screws and trying to use the flathead screwdriver, it was starting to strip the screws. And once you strip the screw, it's going to be extremely difficult to get it out. So at that point, I stopped using that flathead screwdriver. I broke down, I went online onto Amazon. I ordered one of these tri-wing screwdrivers for, it was like under $5. Amazon Prime had it here pretty much the next day, and I'm going to continue using this to get the screws out. I started doing this screw that was over here, and I've already noticed a huge difference. Much easier to take the screw out, and I don't have to worry about it stripping the screws. Alright, so I've got all the screws removed. I'm going to go ahead and detach the back of the Wii U panel. You can see the existing chip that is in there. Let me zoom in a little bit. So there's the chip I received. There's the chip that has been in the Wii U. So we're going to remove that old chip. So my old chip was here, and it seemed to just be lightly stuck to the board with a little bit of adhesive, but I was able to gently peel that off. And there are two wires, a white and a black wire, on the bottom of this chip. So I got my new chip, and just want to kind of show you guys a close-up here. These are the connection points where those wires are attaching to the chip. So the wires were kind of connected to this plastic holder here. I was able to just remove the wires from there, and I'm going to go ahead and start removing the black wire from this chip here. That pops off. I'm going to attach it to my new chip. Alright, so I have the black wire attached. I'm going to do the same thing for the white. Able to remove it. I'm going to attach it to my new chip. So I've got the white and black attached. I'm going to make sure that the connections are nice and tight. When I put the chip back, there's this little black piece down here at the bottom. I got to make sure that gets reinserted back there. Gently kind of putting that back in its spot. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, sorry. All right. So we're going to go ahead and replace our cover. Try and get it to fit back in the screw holes. Just going to put one or two screws back in the gamepad here, and I'll put all the rest in after I'm done testing it to make sure it's going to work. I'm going to reinsert my battery and reclip it back into place. That should be snug for now. We're going to take it up and do a test with it. So turn your gamepad back on.
You just gotta give it another try because it just doesn't work the first time.
Okay, so we've turned the we've brought the gamepad up here. Carter, you've turned it on. We've got the Wii U going. We're gonna see if we can resync the controller. So I'm gonna hit the sync button on the console twice. So once. Press the sync button on the controller you want to pair. So turn that over, turn it upside down. There's that button there. You probably can't reach it. Hang on, let me get a screwdriver. Okay, use that. See if you can hit that little red button there. Okay, let go. Okay, now flip that over. Alright. Tap the symbols in the order that they are displayed on the TV screen. So I hit the console sync button again, and now I got some symbols on our television, and Carter, you're matching those symbols up.
Tap.
It looks like it's trying to do its thing. Okay, so we're looking at the screen and it looks like the controller's connected. Can you go into a game?
Well, you have to pick a user before you go into a game.
Okay, so go ahead and pick a user.
And
then just try one of your games to make sure it's working. So Carter, you're back in your game and you seem to be controlling it. Can I see your pad? Okay, so you're not getting the disconnection message, are you?
no.
Seems to be working. So why don't you move back a little bit further?
Let's go. Wait here.
Okay.
I'm still not listening.
See if it works.
It's still not. It works.
Okay. So now why don't you come back a little bit more? Let's go in the hallway.
It still works.
You can still play?
Yep.
Okay, why don't you go in the kitchen?
Watch the TV.
How about here?
It works.
It works?
Let's go in the back room.
I don't know what's going on.
What's this connection?
You can still play, you lost connection. So start walking back this way.
But he was 2 rooms away.
How about now?
Yes, right here.
So we're in the kitchen, we're like in the other room. Well, that's cool. Now you can play your Wii U and you don't have to be a foot away from it anymore.
Yay!
Yep. I will say, based on changing out the chips, a couple of quick tips I'd have for you. One is spend the extra couple of dollars and get the special screwdriver, the tri-wing screwdriver, because I was able to get some of the screws out with my regular flathead screwdriver, but it wasn't worth it to strip the remaining screws that were in the gamepad. So for the extra couple of bucks, getting that little screwdriver was worth it. I will leave links down in the description below to where I got the chip as well as the screwdriver, as well as more information to help you out with doing the same process here to save your Wii U gamepad, because it's always nice when things are working. So I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. And hey, if you liked this video, consider checking out the other videos on our channel. We do different tech, toy, and gadget reviews, as well as more do-it-yourself projects for both automotive as well as home electronics and other things. So consider checking those out. Consider subscribing to our channel. Hey, my name is Jeff. This is Tinker Forward. I appreciate you watching. Be sure to make every day awesome, and we'll see you soon.